The rhythmic beeping of the monitoring station was the only sound in the small observatory.
Dr. Han sat alone, eyes fixed on the data streams flowing across his screen. He sipped his cold coffee and rubbed his tired eyes. 3 years at the Deep Space Monitoring Initiative had trained him to recognize patterns in the cosmic noise. Tonight was just another night until it wasn't. A signal, faint but distinct, caught his attention. He adjusted the parameters, enhancing the reception. The pattern repeated with perfect precision, too perfect for a natural phenomenon. Dr. Han's heart raced.
He double-checked his readings, then triple-checked them.
This was no error. Director Yoon, he called through the intercom, his voice steady despite his excitement.
I need you to see this. Director Yoon arrived minutes later, her usual composed demeanor intact.
She stood behind Dr. Han, arms crossed, looking skeptically at the screen.
This better be important. I was in the middle of a budget meeting.
Dr. Han pointed to the pattern.
It's artificial in origin. No doubt about it.
Her skepticism vanished as she studied the waveform.
Location? The outer Kuiper belt. Beyond Neptune.
Dr. Han zoomed out the star map.
It's not moving. Whatever this is, it's been waiting out there. Maybe for a very long time. Within days, Earth's United Space Command had called an emergency meeting. Representatives from 12 nations gathered at the headquarters in Geneva.
Dr. Han presented his findings to the room of serious faces.
Based on the signal pattern and energy signature, we believe this is an alien beacon, he explained.
It appears to be dormant but still functional after what might be thousands or even millions of years.
Admiral Kong, the stern head of the Space Command, stood up. We're assembling a first contact team. The mission is to observe and report only. No contact without direct authorization. Director Yoon nodded toward Dr. Han. He discovered it. He should go. Admiral Kong didn't look pleased, but he nodded. Very well. Dr. Han will join Commander Song as science officer. Commander Song was already famous for her cool thinking during the Mars colony crisis.
She approached Dr. Han after the meeting.
Looks like we're going to make history together, Doctor.
If there's history to make, Dr. Han replied.
This could just be an ancient piece of space junk. She smiled. You don't believe that, or you wouldn't have called Director Yoon at midnight.
The next 3 weeks passed in a blur of preparation.
The UCS Pathfinder, Earth's most advanced spacecraft, was readied for the mission. The crew of 8 specialists trained day and night for every possible scenario. The night before launch, Dr. Han couldn't sleep.
He went to the ship's observation deck and looked up at the stars. Among them was the source of the signal, perhaps the greatest discovery in human history.
Nervous?
Commander Song had silently joined him.
Wouldn't you be? He asked.
Of course.
That's how I know we're ready. She handed him a tablet. New readings from the Deep Space Array.
Dr. Han studied the data and felt a chill. The energy output from the beacon has increased by 300%.
Since exactly when? Commander Song asked. Since we announced our mission. Dr. Han looked up. It's as if it knows we're coming. Launch day arrived with clear skies.
The Pathfinder rose on a column of flame, carrying humanity's hopes and fears into the black. As they cleared Earth's atmosphere, Technical Officer Jean reported from her station.
Commander, I'm detecting unusual energy patterns around the ship. Commander Song frowned. Source? Unknown.
It's like we're being scanned, but not by any technology one recognize. Dr. Han moved to Officer Jin's station and studied the readings.
These patterns match the beacon's signature. Whatever it is, it's watching us.
Commander Song called the crew together.
Listen carefully. Our mission parameters may have changed. We're no longer just observers, we're being observed. Stay alert, follow protocols, and remember your training.
As the Pathfinder accelerated toward the outer solar system, Dr. Han stared out the viewport.
Somewhere in the darkness ahead, something ancient waited for them.
Something that had reached out across time and space to make contact.
What do you think we'll find? Officer Jean asked quietly. Dr. Han shook his head. I don't know.
But I think humanity is about to learn how small we really are.
The UCS Pathfinder pushed through the empty blackness of space.
3 weeks had passed since they left Earth. The crew settled into the rhythm of space travel, work shifts, mealtimes, and rest periods all carefully scheduled.
Dr. Han spent most of his time in the science lab, studying the beacon's signal.
Each day it grew stronger as they moved closer to its source.
Technical Officer Jean worked beside him, running system checks on their equipment.
The signal is changing, Dr. Han said one morning.
It's becoming more complex. Officer Jean looked over his shoulder. Almost like it's evolving to communicate with us. Commander Song entered the lab.
Her face showed the stress of leadership, but her voice remained steady.
How long until we reach the beacon?
4 days at current speed, Officer Jean replied.
Make it 3, Commander Song ordered. I want to know what we're dealing with. The ship's engines hummed louder as they increased speed. That night, strange dreams troubled the crew.
Dr. Han saw endless fields of stars that spoke to him in colors.
He woke with equations in his mind that he didn't understand. Did you dream last night? He asked Commander Song during breakfast.
She looked at him sharply.
How did you know?
Soon they discovered everyone aboard had experienced similar dreams.
Medical Officer Park ran tests but found nothing wrong with the crew.
It's the beacon, Dr. Han suggested.
It's reaching out to us. Commander Song called an emergency meeting.
We need to decide, continue or turn back.
Navigation Officer Bay spoke up.
The engines are acting strangely.
Power fluctuations are increasing. I'm not sure we could make it back to Earth even if we wanted to.
Then we continue, Commander Song decided. But with extreme caution. On the 3rd day, they finally saw it. The beacon floated in the emptiness of the Kuiper Belt, a massive structure of unknown metal, shaped like a perfect sphere with intricate patterns covering its surface. It was beautiful and terrifying at the same time. It's at least 10,000 years old, based on the cosmic radiation patterns, Dr. Han reported. Yet it appears to be in perfect condition. The Pathfinder moved slowly around the sphere, keeping a safe distance.
Officer Jin's sensors recorded everything.
There's an opening appearing, she announced suddenly.
The sphere is changing its structure.
They watched as part of the sphere's surface shifted, revealing an entrance just large enough for their ship to pass through. It's inviting us in, Dr. Han whispered.
Commander Song shook her head.
Protocol says we observe only.
No direct contact.
Engineer Officer Min, who rarely spoke during meetings, cleared his throat. Commander, the power readings from that thing are off the charts. If we learn how it works, it could solve Earth's energy crisis forever.
And if it's a trap? Commander Song asked.
Dr. Han studied the latest readings.
I don't think it means us harm. These patterns, they're not random. It's a language. It's trying to talk to us. For hours, they debated what to do.
Earth was too far away for real-time communication. They had to decide on their own. We came all this way to make a discovery, Dr. Han argued.
If we turn back now, what was the point?
Finally, Commander Song made her decision.
We'll send a probe in first. If it's safe, we'll consider further action. The small probe entered the opening in the sphere. Its cameras showed a hollow interior filled with technology beyond their understanding. Glowing pathways ran along the walls, pulsing with energy. The probe's power just tripled, Officer Jean reported. The sphere is feeding it somehow. Suddenly, the probe's signal cut off. The crew held their breath, waiting.
A minute later, the signal returned, but now it carried new information. It's a gateway, Dr. Han said in awe as he translated the data.
The sphere is part of a network that connects to other points in the galaxy.
Commander Song stared at the sphere. Earth protocol was clear, but they were facing something unprecedented. She made her final decision. Prepare the ship.
We're going in. Officer Min powered up the engines.
Ready when you are, Commander. As the Pathfinder slowly moved toward the opening, the lights inside the ship flickered.
The computers displayed strange symbols before returning to normal. Whatever happens, Commander Song said, we're making history today.
The ship passed through the opening. Inside, the sphere lit up with brilliant colors. The crew watched in silence as patterns of light danced around them. Then a humming sound filled the air, growing louder. Energy levels are spiking,
Officer Jean shouted.
The sphere's interior began to spin, faster and faster.
Light wrapped around the ship like a cocoon. Hold on, Commander Song ordered.
In a flash of blinding light, the Pathfinder and its crew vanished from our solar system, traveling through the gateway to somewhere no human had ever been before. A light washed over the Pathfinder as it emerged from the gateway. The crew blinked, adjusting to the sudden brightness. Through the main viewport, they saw a massive space station floating before them. It dwarfed anything humans had ever built, stretching at least 20 kilometers from end to end. "Where are we?" whispered Officer Jean, her fingers moving quickly over her console.
Dr. Han checked the navigation system.
The stars don't match any known patterns.
We're not in our solar system anymore.
Commander Song straightened her uniform.
All systems check.
Prepare for possible first contact. Around the station, vessels of various designs moved with purpose.
Some looked organic, like giant sea creatures swimming through space.
Others were geometric shapes that seemed to ignore the rules of physics.
We're being scanned, Officer Min reported. Multiple energy beams from the station.
A voice suddenly came through their communication system, speaking perfect Earth standard.
Human vessel. You are directed to docking bay 12. Follow the guidance beam.
The crew exchanged nervous glances.
Commander Song nodded. Follow their directions.
But be ready for emergency protocols. A blue light appeared before their ship, creating a path toward the station.
Officer Min carefully guided the Pathfinder along it.
As they approached, massive doors opened, revealing a cavernous docking area where dozens of alien ships rested.
Look at the technology, Dr. Han said in awe.
Some of these designs don't even make sense to our physics.
The Pathfinder settled into an empty berth.
Mechanical arms extended from the walls, securing the ship in place.
The main airlock chimed, indicating that the atmosphere outside was breathable.
"I'll go first," Commander Song announced.
Dr. Han with me. The rest of you, stay aboard until I give the all-clear.
They stepped through the airlock onto a smooth platform.
3 figures waited for them.
The central being stood tall and thin, with silvery skin that reflected light like a mirror. To either side were creatures so different from each other that Dr. Han struggled to process what he was seeing.
The silver being spoke. I am Coordinator Su.
Welcome to Central Hub of the Galactic Confederation.
Commander Song bowed slightly. Commander Song of Earth's United Space Command. This is Dr. Han, our science officer.
You have activated ancient technology beyond your understanding, Coordinator Su said. This is unprecedented for a species at your development stage.
Dr. Han couldn't help himself. There are other species like us?
12 primary species form our confederation, with 37 associate members.
Humans would be classified as a Stage 2 civilization.
You have achieved space travel but not yet mastered gravity manipulation or faster-than-light communication. Commander Song maintained her composure. We come in peace, seeking knowledge and friendship.
Coordinator Su's expression remained unreadable. Follow me. The High Council awaits.
They were led through corridors filled with beings of all descriptions.
Some floated rather than walked. Others moved in mechanical suits. All stopped to stare at the humans.
The council chamber was a vast circular room. 12 seats arranged in a semicircle held representatives of the primary species. In the center position sat a being made of what appeared to be living light, constantly shifting in form.
High Counselor Rin, announced Coordinator Su. The humans who activated the ancient gateway.
The light being's voice filled the room without seeming to come from any specific direction.
Humans.
You have accessed technology belonging to the Confederation without invitation or understanding.
This creates a problem. Commander Song stepped forward. We apologize for any breach of protocol. We didn't know.
Ignorance is not an excuse, interrupted another counselor, a reptilian being with scales that changed color as it spoke.
Primitive species must be contained until they evolve sufficient understanding. What does that mean for Earth? Dr. Han asked. High Counselor Rin responded, 2 options exist for species in your position. Quarantine, your solar system will be sealed off until you reach stage 4 development.
Or assimilation, we provide technology but assume control of your development path.
The council members began debating among themselves in languages the translation systems couldn't process.
Commander Song and Dr. Han were escorted to a waiting area. They're going to decide our fate without our input, Commander Song said quietly.
Dr. Han was studying the historical records displayed on the walls.
Look at this, he whispered. Records of other species they've encountered.
The ones they assimilated all follow the same pattern of development now. They've lost something. Lost what? Commander Song asked. Their uniqueness. Their creativity.
Dr. Han pointed to different images. These civilizations all build the same way now, organize the same way.
It's like they've been standardized.
Later, back in their assigned quarters, Dr. Han continued studying the Confederation's records.
He noticed something strange in their historical accounts.
They're afraid of us, he realized suddenly. Not our technology, but our unpredictability.
Our adaptability. Our creativity. These are traits they've engineered out of their societies for stability. Commander Song's eyes lit up with understanding. Then that's what we'll show them.
Not our weakness, but our strength. The Pathfinder crew gathered in their quarters on the massive space station. Dr. Han shared his findings about the Confederation's fear of human unpredictability. Commander Song paced the room, deep in thought. We need to prove our worth to them, she said finally. Show them that our differences are valuable, not dangerous.
A soft chime announced a visitor.
The door slid open to reveal Coordinator Su, the silver-skinned alien who had first greeted them. The High Council has reached a decision, Su announced. But before it is finalized, High Counselor Rin wishes to offer you a chance. The humans exchanged glances.
What kind of chance? Commander Song asked.
The Nexus Paradox Challenge.
It is rarely offered to new species. Dr. Han stepped forward. What is this challenge?
A test created by the founders of our Confederation. No species has completed it in 800 years.
If you succeed, your status will be reconsidered. Commander Song didn't hesitate. We accept.
The next morning, the entire crew was escorted to a special chamber deep within the station. The room was circular, with a strange device floating in the center, a complex matrix of energy and light that shifted and changed as they watched.
High Counselor Rin's form shimmered as the being of light addressed them. This is the Nexus Paradox.
It tests not just intelligence, but understanding of the universe's fundamental nature.
You have 3 days to solve it. Begin.
The humans approached the floating puzzle cautiously.
As they got closer, the matrix responded, projecting different patterns and symbols. It's interactive, Dr. Han observed.
It changes based on our thoughts and actions. Officer Jean ran her hand near the field.
It's not just a puzzle. It's almost alive.
Around the edges of the room, representatives from other species watched them. Some worked on their own versions of the puzzle, using advanced technology and complex calculations. For hours, the crew tried to understand the basic principles of the Nexus Paradox. They discovered it responded differently to each person.
When Officer Min approached, the matrix showed engineering patterns. When Dr. Han got close, it displayed astronomical data.
"It's reading our minds somehow," Commander Song said. "Or at least our specialties and interests." By the end of the first day, they had made little progress. The other alien scientists worked methodically, applying pure logic and advanced computing to the problem. The humans watched them carefully.
"They're all approaching it the same way," Dr. Han noted. "Using logic and calculation alone. And they're all failing," Commander Song added. That night, Dr. Han couldn't sleep. He kept thinking about the puzzle and what it might mean.
He remembered the patterns it had shown him, star formations that seemed familiar yet impossible.
On the second day, the crew tried a different approach.
Instead of working separately on different aspects of the puzzle, they began working together. They shared ideas freely, even the wild ones that seemed impossible.
"What if it's not testing our knowledge?" Dr. Han suggested. "What if it's testing how we think?" Commander Song nodded slowly. "The Confederation values order and predictability. But the universe isn't orderly. It's chaotic and creative."
They began to experiment. When multiple crew members approached the matrix together, it created new patterns that weren't visible to any individual. When they shared random thoughts, the puzzle responded with unexpected connections.
Officer Jean laughed suddenly. "It's not a test of intelligence at all. It's a test of cooperation and imagination."
By the end of the second day, they had made more progress than any of the watching aliens. The matrix now pulsed with colors and patterns that seemed almost musical in their harmony. On the third day, Dr. Han woke with a realization. He gathered the crew immediately. "The founders who created this puzzle, they weren't testing for the right answer," he explained excitedly.
"They were looking for a certain way of thinking. A balance between logic and intuition." Commander Song understood immediately.
"That's why the Confederation species can't solve it.
They've eliminated the chaos from their thinking.
They've become too ordered, too predictable."
The crew approached the Nexus paradox together. Each person contributed their unique perspective. They didn't try to control the matrix but worked with it, allowing it to guide them as much as they guided it.
The matrix began to spin faster, its colors growing brighter. The alien observers moved closer, fascinated by the humans' progress.
"Now," Dr. Han whispered.
They all reached toward the matrix together, not with their hands but with their minds, sharing not just thoughts but feelings, hopes, and dreams.
The puzzle responded, its patterns aligning in perfect harmony.
With a soft chime, the matrix collapsed inward, then expanded in a gentle explosion of light. In the center floated a simple symbol, a spiral galaxy, slowly rotating.
The room fell silent as the alien observers stared in disbelief. High Counselor Rin floated forward, lifeform pulsing with emotion.
"In 800 years, Rin said slowly, no one has understood the true nature of the challenge.
Until now."
The Grand Assembly Chamber of the Confederation Space Station was filled to capacity. Representatives from all member species had gathered to witness something unprecedented. At the center of the room stood the human crew of the Pathfinder, with Commander Song and Dr. Han at the front. The spiral galaxy symbol from the Nexus paradox floated above them, projected in 3 dimensions for all to see. As they watched, the symbol transformed, revealing ancient text that flowed across the walls of the chamber.
"What does it say?" Commander Song whispered to Dr. Han.
Before he could answer, High Counselor Rin's voice filled the room. "It says, the worthy successors have arrived."
Rin's light form seemed to pulse with emotions no human could read.
These words were written by the founders themselves.
Murmurs spread through the crowd of aliens.
Some seemed excited, others disturbed. A tall, tree-like being stepped forward from the council.
"This is impossible. Humans are barely a stage 2 civilization.
They still fight wars among themselves. They have not even unified their home planet. Yet they solved what none of us could," countered another counselor, a being that resembled a cloud of smoke with glowing eyes.
"Perhaps we have been measuring advancement incorrectly." High Counselor Rin motioned for silence.
"Coordinator Sue, explain to our guests the significance of what they have achieved." Coordinator Sue stepped forward, silver skin reflecting the light of the galaxy symbol. The founders created our confederation 10,000 years ago. They were a species unlike any other. Brilliant, creative, and deeply compassionate. They connected the first gateway network and brought peace to 100 worlds. Sue paused, looking directly at the humans. Then, for reasons we never understood, they vanished. They left behind their technology, their knowledge, and this test. They said one day a species would come who shared their spirit. A species that would complete their work. Dr. Han felt a chill run through him.
You're saying we're somehow like these founders? Your brain patterns, said Sue.
They match the records we have of founder neural activity.
Your species thinks in ways ours have forgotten or engineered away in the pursuit of order. Commander Song looked around at the assembled aliens. What does this mean for Earth? For humanity?
High Counselor Rin floated down to face the humans directly.
It means everything has changed.
We offer Earth membership in the Confederation not as subjects, but as equals. The tree-like counselor objected. They are not ready for our technology. They could destroy themselves or others.
Perhaps, Rin acknowledged. But the Nexus Paradox has chosen them.
And I, for one, am curious to see what humans will accomplish when given the chance. The debate continued for hours.
Some counselors demanded restrictions on human access to advanced technology.
Others wanted to study humans to understand how they thought. Through it all, the Pathfinder crew stood firm, insisting on equal treatment. Finally, High Counselor Rin called for a vote. One by one, the 12 primary species cast their decisions. In the end, the vote was 7-5 in favor of full acceptance. It is decided, Rin announced. Earth will be welcomed as the 13th primary species of the Galactic Confederation. Later, as the Pathfinder prepared to return home with representatives from the Confederation, Dr. Han stood in the observation deck, studying the vast star map of their new galactic community. Commander Song joined him.
Can you believe it?
A week ago we were just looking at a strange signal.
Now we're about to change the course of human history.
Dr. Han zoomed in on Earth, a tiny blue dot in a sea of stars. They're giving us technology centuries beyond what we have now.
Clean energy, advanced medicine, faster than light travel. It will change everything.
Not everything, Commander Song said.
They want us because we're human. Because we think differently. Do you think we're ready for this? Dr. Han asked. To join a community of advanced species? To have access to technology that could destroy us if we're not careful? Commander Song smiled. No.
But that's exactly why we'll succeed. She pointed to notes she had made about the founders.
They weren't perfect either.
According to these records, they made mistakes, just like us.
But they learned from them. They grew.
That's what the Confederation has been missing, the ability to adapt, to take risks, to imagine new possibilities. As the Pathfinder's engines hummed to life, the crew took their positions for the journey home. Through the gateway they would go, back to Earth, carrying news that would forever change humanity's place in the universe. We need to be careful how we introduce this to the world, Commander Song said.
There will be fear, resistance.
There will also be hope, Dr. Han replied.
For the first time, humanity will know we're not alone.
And not just that, we're special.
We have something important to offer. The gateway activated, bathing the ship in brilliant light.
As they passed through, returning to their solar system, Dr. Han thought about all that awaited them.
Challenges and opportunities.
New frontiers to explore. And most exciting of all, new friends among the stars.